Warning, this video might cause you to question the reality around you. Is time travel possible, and is it actually happening? Are time travel wars a thing, and how is the Mandela effect connected to all of this? Real estate, crypto, stocks, and bonds, gold outperformed them all in 2022. So what are you waiting for? Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands of clients buy real physical gold. Open a gold IRA or silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments this month and receive a free quarter-ounce American Gold Eagle coin with every qualified IRA of $50,000. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments and their thousands of 5-star reviews. If you're not ready to invest, download the Noble Gold Investments Gold Investment Guide. Scroll down below and you'll find the link in the description box. For mobile users, click the More button to find the link. Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, it's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notifications button so you'll get notified about new videos every day. Thank you also for joining us in the Inspired Newsroom, our new channel here on YouTube. All right, let's dive into it. Time travel has been a big sci-fi topic for many, many years in pop culture, in movies, in literature, in TV shows. And one of the most famous examples of time travel in pop culture are the Back to the Future movies with Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. This topic became recently important for me as I was theorizing about the implications of time travel, and specifically time travel wars and the effects it might have on our reality. But before we go into that, let me introduce you to a self-proclaimed time traveler called Andrew Basiago, a Seattle-based lawyer who's been claiming since 2004 to have been a time traveler. Seattle attorney Andrew Basiago has publicly been making the claims since 2004 that between the ages of 7 and 12 years old, he participated in a secret US government program that worked on teleportation and time travel under a secret DARPA experiment called Project Pegasus, a precursor to the Montauk Project and the Philadelphia experiment. The program, which began in the 1970s, used children in its experiments because they could adapt well to the strains of moving between past, present, and future. As one of those time-traveling children, Basiago claims to have traveled to Ford's Theater on a night of President Abraham Lincoln's assassination 5 or 6 times and was captured in a photograph at Gettysburg in 1863. Basiago says he experienced 8 different time travel technologies throughout the course of the project, but most instances involved a teleporter based on technical papers supposedly found in pioneering mechanical engineer Nikola Tesla's New York City apartment after his death in 1943. The teleporter consisted of 2 gray elliptical booms about 8 feet tall, separated by 10 feet, between which a shimmering curtain of what Tesla called radiant energy was broadcast, Basiago says. Radiant energy is a form of energy that Tesla discovered that is latent and pervasive in the universe and has among its properties the capacity to bend time-space. Basiago said each of his visits to the past was different, like they were sending us to slightly different alternative realities on adjacent timelines. As these visits began to accumulate, I twice ran into myself during 2 different visits. Being sent back in time to the same place and moment but from different starting points in the present allowed 2 of himselves to be in Ford's Theater at the same time in 1865. After the first of these 2 encounters with myself occurred, I was concerned that my cover might be blown, he recalled. Unlike the jump to Gettysburg, in which I was clutching a letter to Navy Secretary Gideon Welles to offer me aid and assistance in the event I was arrested, I didn't have any explanatory materials when I was sent to Ford's Theater. Basiago's claims are supported by Alfred Weber, a lawyer specializing in exopolitics or the political implications surrounding an extraterrestrial presence on Earth. Weber says teleportation and time travel have been around for 40 years, but are hoarded by the Defense Department instead of being used to transfer goods and services. And speaking of Nikola Tesla and his inventions, in recent years, there were rumors made around Donald Trump and him being a time traveler. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but he could possibly really have access to time travel technology. It was his uncle, John Trump, who was in charge of examining all of Nikola Tesla's research material and all of his work after his death. He was commissioned by the government to examine it all and see what could come out of it. Now, John Trump and Donald Trump were very close, so it wouldn't seem too strange that Donald Trump would have access to some of that technology or even time travel technology. What caught a lot of people's attention over the last years was a number of books written by Ingersoll Lockwood between 1890 and 1896. And the names of the books are Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump, Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, and 1900 or The Last President. Now, the characters in the books, the storyline, and Trump's presidency have very eerie similarities. That's why people are saying this couldn't possibly be a coincidence. It was either premonition on the author's part, or it was some sort of time-bending, time-space reality travel. And perhaps, this was done with the technology based on Nikola Tesla's findings, and later, perhaps, this was really realized. What really drove the idea of time travel home for me recently were very weird experiences. And some of you might know this known as the Mandela effect, but oftentimes I would have what I felt a memory that was empty. I couldn't recall specific events, but it was almost like I could feel them because I could still feel the conclusions from these events, yet I couldn't find them in my memory bank. It was like as if they had been erased. Perhaps you have felt the same thing. Of course, in the Mandela effect, people are experiencing reality shifts, memory shifts, and they would see logos, they would see movie scenes, they would see news stories that didn't line up with their memory. The only problem was millions of people feel that way about certain events. It was Nelson Mandela's death that sparked this, where many people had the memory of a news story of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 80s, when really he lived much longer to become the president of South Africa. A TV show called Timeless that aired a few years ago went further in the concept and really discovered the possibility not just of time travel, but actually time travel wars, where bad actors who had access to that technology traveled back in time and changed history in order to alter our current reality according to their wishes. Now, in the series, the good guys also went back in time, and there were these fights in the past as to preserve history versus changing it. But what if this is a reality, and what if bad actors really have access to that kind of technology and they travel back in time and change history just enough to alter our current reality but not erase themselves from our current reality? And what if we're experiencing a sort of a time loop where we're jumping through the same hoops over and over again? The reason why I'm saying this is because I've experienced these huge consciousness leaps, right? Where I was certain that things were about to fundamentally change on Earth, and then I would wake up one morning and feel like I'm not in the same reality anymore. This has been really happening for the past 10 years a lot, whether that's connected to the activity at CERN or to actual time travel. I don't really know. What I will say is that the more I research it, the more I think about it, the more I'm certain that this is not just a possibility but a reality. It has been well known that nefarious actors, the people behind the scenes, have always hijacked technology and used it for their own means rather than making it available for the greater good of the public. So it wouldn't surprise us, wouldn't it, if they actually hid and used technology against us and for their own means. The reason why this topic is important is because we can't stop at things we don't understand. We have to actually dive deeper into these realms, and just thinking about this, exploring this subject and going down this rabbit hole greatly expanded our minds, and we're actually calling on whistleblowers and insiders today to come forward and not just speak on past projects that happened in the 40s and 50s and 60s, but actually on what is happening today, because we have to expose it, we have to shine the light in all of these dark places and take back power and sovereignty, and we can't stop at things we do not yet completely understand. I believe this is a very strong possibility, and I believe, as always, it is up to us, we the people, to actually take charge and make sure that we are on an organic, authentic timeline where we are in charge and where consciousness And a God-creator realization drives shifts, not artificial technology that always turns out to be harmful and working against us. All right, thank you so much for tuning in here on the Inspired channel. We love you, we appreciate you. We'll be back with you again shortly. We're more dedicated than ever to provide authentic, truthful, and uncensored information and inspiration. That's why we created the Inspired community on the free speech platform Locals. There's no censorship, a free flow of information, and it's more personal and intimate. And you can join us as a free member or a paid supporter. Please visit inspired.locals.com and join us today.